Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 82 for October 5th, 2022. I am Nemesis, and I'm joined as usual by Alcatraz here.
Hello.
Yeah, a couple things. One thing was that's really sad. Sena Hoshiki, the voice of her, it's from Idolmaster, the mean girl. The mean one.
Riamu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She apparently has leukemia.
That sucks.
Yep, that's, oh boy. Yeah, that's not great news.
The bad things happening should have stayed to the character, not the voice actor.
Yep. I guess other things, this is not really news, but yeah, Spy Family has
Resumed.
resumed.
Part 2 of season 1?
Yep. It's now started back up again, so I'm going to have to watch that tonight, probably. In other news, let's see, apparently the entirety of the Bleach anime has been removed from Crunchyroll recently, and is likely going to Disney Plus of all places, or possibly Hulu. Apparently it's on Hulu or something, but yeah, it looks like the license has transferred, and yeah, we'll see how that goes down in the future. Speaking of Crunchyroll, they're also under a bit of fire recently because something's been kind of known a little bit about, but recently kind of blew up, which is regarding Kyle McHarley. He's the lead voice actor in the English dub of Mob Psycho 100. He's probably not coming back for season 3 because Crunchyroll rejected his request for a SAG-AFTRA union contract. So that's been a bit of a thing that people are a little getting kind of upset about that, basically because of the fact he's not coming back. And he even said that he would record at a lower rate if they just, what was it? In exchange for a meeting with SAG-AFTRA representatives, and Crunchyroll turned that down too. So basically the thing is, it's been also, after that, several VAs have come forward and said they have been paid very low amounts of money. And also on top of that, the thing is about these contracts is not just about money, it's also about safety guidelines, including things like, excessive screaming, which, let's be real, in a lot of anime, particularly shonen, is a common thing. So yeah, Crunchyroll's not saying anything so far, so it's kind of a big deal, and it's understandable if you want to, say, cancel your membership with them. What was the other? Oh, yeah. A couple weird Love Live things, weirdly enough, popped up recently. Number one, they announced something which has me a little concerned because it's called School Idol Musical, and the branding is suspiciously similar to High School Musical.
No.
Oh, what are they doing? What are you doing? I mean, it sounds like they're going to do a musical thing, but I don't know. Anyway, which way, that's all they've announced. And the other thing was they announced School Idol Festival 2. That's basically they're going to be the third mobile game. Because All Stars apparently is tanking like crazy, which is why I was sold to a publisher known for basically running games for like a year or so before they kill them. So yeah, All Stars been tanking, which is also things like Leela has not been popped up in All Stars at all, except for like 3 songs that were there for a month and were removed. And it's like, oh, probably that's why, because yeah, they've already put up a trailer and it shows that all 4 of the groups are going to be in there. Don't know what's going to be like beyond that. Just there's a new game coming. So
it will exist.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to, of course, going to install it when I can.
Because you're obligated to.
I'll have 3 mobile games to play, although good chance one of them's not going to be around for much longer. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that stuff. We're here to talk about a different gacha thing, actually.
Yeah.
Musume Pretty Derby. Yep, the Horse Girl franchise.
Horse girls.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. It's horse girls. They're racing because they're horses. That's the thing. That's the general gist of the whole thing. And yeah, this anime was made to advertise the gacha game, which when the anime first came out, the gacha game wasn't available yet. The anime first came out in April of 2018, and the game only came out in 2021, shortly before season 2 came out. Took them a while. But yeah, it's about this. The idea is this world is there aren't horses, there are horse girls. Basically just anime girls with horse ears and tails, and they run really fast. Like horses do.
Yep.
And the thing is, the girls in the game and the anime and whatnot are based on real life race horses, and they share their name and some design traits with those horses, and even personality traits to a degree.
To a degree, yeah.
Because there's only horses only have so much personality, I guess.
They for what they are, they do have a fair amount of personality. They can.
Yeah, but they're not like
humans.
Yeah, not quite the same. But yeah, and it's two different seasons, which are very different from each other in the sense that they follow completely different sets of characters in a sense. Well, for the most part, it's the two different sets of characters.
Yeah.
Although all the characters are in both seasons.
Yeah, it's just they changed focus.
Yep. And also the other thing was a lot of people thought it was going to be like some cute girls doing cute things. No, it's sports anime.
It's a sports anime.
You got trolled. You got tricked. Horse girls have you tricked, bro.
Bamboozled.
Yeah, because a lot of people thought it was going to be more of an idol type of anime. No. It's very much sports anime with, the highs of victory, the lows of defeat, and all the training montages in between.
It's funny you mentioned the idol because they kind of poke at the anime. You have some idol stuff and just kind of...
The anime barely acknowledges it. I understand in the game it's much more prominent.
Yeah,
my understanding, because I haven't actually played the game. I've been tempted to. Yeah,
because it's funny because the pilot episode has the whole idol part in it, and you think, oh, this is gonna be a big thing in the anime. It's not. It's just every now and then it pops up, but yeah. Otherwise, it just disappears.
The horse girls, the top three horse girls of the race, first, second, and third, the podium finishers, have to perform afterwards that night, and for some reason or another, because
they never explain it in the anime.
Yeah, it was supposed to. Yeah, that's the thing. The game was supposed to come out in 2018 and got delayed until February 2021. So yeah, it was a weird thing. You have an anime advertising something that doesn't exist.
Yep.
At least initially. So the first season focuses on Special Week. A horse who is, horse girl who's brand new to the whole thing, just coming to school and wants to be a racehorse, I guess. And she meets up with Team Spica, who's bunch of weirdos and dorks.
Meets up
with.
That's a good way to say it.
By that I mean she gets thrown in a sack and then thrown into a shed.
She gets abducted not inducted into Team Spica. Abducted,
like I said, thrown into a sack and then into a shed.
Yep.
Where she meets the other members of Team Spica, including, well, eventually Silent Suzuka, although that took a little bit. But yeah, also Tokai Teo, Meijiro McQueen, Gold Ship Vodka, and Daiwa Scarlet, and of course Trainer-san, who's just Trainer-san.
Yep. Teo didn't show up till later as well.
Teo was there a little bit later.
But she wasn't part of the team initially.
Her dream is to be the best horse girl in Japan, whatever the heck that means. People kind of point out, what does that actually mean?
It means whatever you want it to mean.
But anyway, it's just her racing career. Initially the initial promise of, wow, she's really good at this, to the, oh hey, yeah, you just got humbled a bit, and so on, and the comeback because man, you're like in 7th place. What's that about?
Yeah.
And also Silent Suzuka gets a lot of focus because Silent Suzuka also winds up being her roommate because, oh my god, they're roommates.
Oh my god, they're roommates.
My understanding is in real life, I looked it up, Social Week and Silent Suzuka were essentially half siblings. The real horses were, that's why some of the characters have closer relationships than others, because stuff like that.
Yeah.
Although it's one of those things where the real life horses are related, in the anime they are not. So don't worry if you're kind of like, oh, I'm going to ship, but wait, no. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. They're not related in the anime.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm trying to remember how many actual sibling relationships even appear in the anime between any of the characters.
Actual sibling?
Where like the anime characters.
I think there's like one set of background characters are like siblings.
Yeah.
But beyond that, they all of the real life horses are like related in some way. In the anime, they're completely not.
Yeah, when you get into looking at like real life race horse genealogy, you realize like, this is bordering really close on inbreeding.
Because animal husbandry doesn't care about that; it only cares about results.
Yep, they push for the good bloodlines. Well, you keep pushing that, you're gonna end up with bad bloodlines.
How does a horse have webbed feet? I don't understand.
I was gonna go with what happened to the horse's chin.
But
I
anyway,
think the web feet on a horse would be more creepy.
yeah, that's why I went with it.
Uh,
How does that even work?
although you can get weird. There is some really weird hoof disease stuff
Yeah.
that can do stuff. Yeah, but that's not anime.
Anyway. Yeah, because the anime, they'll even manufacture this whole world about it, and we're not getting into the story stuff because it's sports anime. It's like the victories and defeats, and
Yeah, it's
it's
highs
just
and
basically
lows.
I'm getting better at the sport I'm doing.
Yeah, I there's a little bit of lore in that they talk about, like
Implied and
the
also
origins
talk about.
of horse girls.
Yeah, they open that as like basically the horse girls just inherit their names from creatures from another world, and they leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some of the characters in particular have some backstory. Spei-chan, Special Week, has some interesting one. They don't explain it, but they kind of hint that apparently her mom was important, but her mom also died.
Yeah, died shortly after childbirth.
One of her moms.
Yeah, one of her moms,
Because
she also has a human
two
mom.
moms.
Yep, she has a human mom who
Yep.
was close to her horse mom.
Yeah. Like
How
she had-
close we don't know, but
they were obviously very close.
yeah, no one even blinks at the idea that she has two moms.
Yeah. Apparently, it was a rather interesting situation because where Spei grew up, there were no other horse girls, so she hadn't even met other horse girls until she showed up for school.
Yep. The school, which is Tracing Academy.
Yep.
Yeah. Her and Silent Suzuka is also there, and has a roommate, and also goes through a thing where Silent Suzuka is really fast, like really fast, even
She's very good.
And then she gets into the. It's one of the things that they also the anime actually reflects some real life stuff. So like the racehorse records were used as a point of
Like a starting point.
Yeah, starting point for a lot of this stuff, and they do modify in very specific situations. Like the real Silent Suzuka, for example, they entered the fall tennis show, and then got injured and collapsed, and shortly afterwards was put down. Within hours afterwards, I think.
Yeah.
So, in the anime here, they don't do that, 'cause that would be dark.
That would
be a very different. This would be a very different anime. Probably still very suitable for the month of October, though.
Yeah.
But in this, she was just bedridden until she recovers and then comes back and wins a race, which was obviously a fictional one. Right. Yeah, those two are the main characters. It's basically their thing. Mostly Special Week with a little bit of Silent Suzuka, and lots of little. And of course, we kind of joked about their roommates thing because their interactions sometimes are kind of borderline in that gotta wear those wearing those goggles, you see things.
Yeah, you mean horse blinders?
But there's also there's Team Spica, and there's also like there's like the rival Team Rigel, which Suzuka was part of, and they're like the best team, and Spica's like the underdogs, and stuff like that. And like Grass Wander and El Condor Pasa were both big parts of it. Like El Condor Pasa was like absurdly fast until she got she just got destroyed by a European horse. What was the name? I forget. It started with a B.
Oh, what was it? The one French one?
Yeah, the French one.
Yeah, I forgot her name.
I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember the French horse's name.
Yeah, she was big deal, and because then she comes over to Japan, and it's a big deal because she's like super fast and unbeatable. Broya.
Broya.
And she's super fast and unbeatable until Special Week actually manages to beat her, although that's El Condor Pasa kind of tricks her into saying something. Because she's like, let's say, how do you
don't
say...
get cocky.
Yeah, how do you say good luck in French? Oh, you say it like this. And then she tells her, don't get cocky. Then she keeps telling to everyone else. I'm like, what? But there's also the side characters in season 1. Mostly Team Spica, like, Teo's there briefly, mostly doing karaoke stuff, and then Majoru McQueen and Goldship doing whatever the heck Goldship
does what Goldship wants.
Yep. Like it just trainers like get them all, give them all their training lessons, and then just kind of tells Goldship to just keep doing what she's doing.
Just do whatever you're doing and play with your Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, so Majoru McQueen, Goldship likes to mess with Majoru McQueen, often though it backfires on her.
Yep.
Like, oh, hey, I'm going to replace your this with spicy mustard. Ow, it's in my eye now.
Everything gets in Gold Chip's eyes.
Everything. It's
Everything.
Like, how is she not blind?
I don't. She has invincible eyes. Doesn't stop them from hurting though.
Because the other thing, if I recall in real life, Gold Chip is the grandsire of Major McQueen, which explains. That's why. And Vodka and Daiwa are pretty much in love with each other and won't admit it.
Yeah, they're the frenemies,
the tsunderes for each other, constantly in competition. Because I'll get back to that a little bit when we talk about season 2. But yeah, there's definitely a particular framing they like to use. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because it's largely racing stuff. So it's like, and the weird thing about the racing is like it feels like the races are way longer than they should be, but that's because otherwise you don't have time for actual narrative.
Yeah.
You need that narrative so everything, all the races are like, this is, they're like 200 meters left. This should be over in a few seconds. It's not.
It's not.
It takes another 30.
Yeah, that's a common trope across all races. They, the last 5 seconds takes like 3 minutes. Just so they can build that tension and such like that, and all the narrative. Gotta do it. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, that kind of a thing.
I did not know the game is also on Windows.
Huh.
One of those type of things. I have to look now.
Yeah, season 1.
It's kind of the very basic the rookie with potential rises to the top.
Yeah, the way I
very
got it, it's
typical
like,
for sports anime.
Yeah, very typical.
Or
it's
sports anything.
Self-discovery and finding and reaching your dream.
And also knowing that, when you're not actually as good as you think you are, you need to get better.
Yes, but then, persevering and achieving your dreams. That's what season 1 really is
with
about.
a little bit of Suzuka's setback and coming back. A little bit of that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty straightforward. That's why we're not really talking about that. And also, cause there's also the thing about Trainer who doesn't seem to understand boundaries.
Yes,
because it's kind of a weird joke in that he will just do what you actually kind of do with horses. You kind of like checking the muscles, and then they're girls, so they will of course get really upset and think he's a pervert and kick him because he's behind the horse.
Yeah, don't stand behind horses. They will kick you.
And the thing is,
and it will hurt.
If they're actually as strong as real horses, that guy's skull would be caved in.
I'm pretty sure they're implied to be, considering how fast they can run.
And also, we see them lifting weights, which are like.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's another thing. How fast they run. Apparently, there's special horse girl lanes on the road.
Yep, that's. I like. There's little things like that. You see that like the bike lane, the car lane, and the horse girl lane.
Yep.
Or like the phones, which are extra long, so they use their horse ears.
Yeah, it's another thing huge. Because sometimes when they have to use ones that aren't built for horse girls, and you see them talk, and they have to move the receiver between their mouth and their ear.
Which is with smartphones, you just talk with speakerphone.
Yeah. Which people do anyway all the freaking time, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's the other thing which I belong into, which is sometimes your brain starts going places when you start seeing little things about the world, but other parts are not explained. Because okay, so there are racehorse girls. I think the implication there are no actual horses. Are there farm horse girls? Were there war horse girls at some point? Were there horse girls pulling carriages until they started motorizing them? At what point did the line go from job to servitude?
Yes, that did pop up in my head a couple times. I was like, there's some potential dark implications that they could bring up that were never brought up, probably for the
also better. There are no jockeys because that would be weird.
Suddenly, I want to see like an Uma Musume spinoff that has like Mongolian horse girl archer. Yeah, Musume that has Mongolian horse archer girls.
Oh yeah, the scourge of Europe and Asia. They're scary. Because the other thing is are they a different race or a separate species entirely?
Horse armor.
Because
horse girls in armor.
Well, that never happened in that world's version of Oblivion. Because you don't ride horse girls. That would be weird.
That would be weird.
Well, some people might, but that's a very different context.
Horse girls riding things that just remind me that sometimes the segways show up.
Yep. Gold Chip Segway.
Yep. Because not always Gold Chip riding, but if they get injured, they'll be on a Segway because you don't want to walk a lot, so you just ride a Segway.
But so there's a whole bunch about the world like that. That's because one of the things okay, clearly there's a whole thing like, Special Week's mom, but we don't see anything about a father or anything. So it's like, I think people have asked, and I think the official answer is don't talk about that.
Don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that because it's not important.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not important. So it's basically the equivalent of, I don't think about that, and neither should you. But it's in my head now.
Yeah. Also, there's no stallions.
Yeah, exactly. There are no horse boys.
Yep. They're all
they
horse
made
girls.
that clear. Even though all these race horses are male usually in real life, they're all girls here, which... Anyways, all of them are girls. There are no horse boys, which that's why questions like that pop up.
We do not ask questions for answers you are not prepared for.
I'm very prepared. Because the implication either A, human has to sire the horse girl, or B, the horse girls are built different.
They reproduce by budding.
Or they're like frogs. Regardless, that's the stuff they don't talk about, and probably because they don't want to, in part because
the mystery makes it better.
Well, not that, because the people who own the actual racehorses, they have actually very tight control on this stuff.
Yeah, racehorse,
and that includes
stuff is
Apparently, there's a warning or something they sent out. Please do not draw certain kinds of images of these girls. And for the most part, the Japanese fan base listens to that. For the most part, although apparently I've seen that where it's like they have actually issued legal notices to like Pixiv and gotten pictures taken down because the racehorse owners did not like them. They have done that. So that's one of the things. That's one of the things I think that makes this particular gacha franchise stand out, because a lot of gacha franchises kind of really quickly go to sex sells, right?
Yeah, R34 takes over. Too.
Not R34, but
they push the suggestive
horny and
questionable imagery just because it sells well.
Yeah, they basically try to get the attention of all the horny people. This can't do that.
Yeah,
they can't, because the racehorse owners won't allow it because they don't want to be associated with it. So what happens is this very much stands out for not doing that.
Which honestly is kind of nice to see sometimes.
It's like I remember there's that one with that recently popped up, the Korean one with the guns and the girls. It's not Girls Frontline, but it's you shoot and they jiggle a lot when they shoot. Oh. It's funny. It's that one thing. It's gone from sexy to just outright hilarious because it's just overdone.
Like the High School of the Dead Sea. Yeah.
But like even Love Live is not entirely immune to it. Like one of the first costume sets in the very first mobile game was swimsuits.
Of course.
And Love Live is considered very tame comparatively, but even this is, I think, even tamer. So it's like, because they have to be.
Yep.
Of course, there's also the rumblings that a lot of the horse owners are actually Yakuza, but which would explain why you want to listen to them.
Yeah, and that would kind of make sense considering the how racehorsing and betting racehorsing. Wow, horse racing and betting on horse races, and
I'm not even sure how that is done in Japan, because last
I don't know how Japan
gambling is largely illegal in Japan, which is why pachinko parlors are a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's not gambling. You're
technically the Yakuza is illegal too, and that doesn't stop anything.
But regardless, it's there's a whole tons of questions. It's like we're not going to talk about those.
We just won't get into the details.
That's what fan fiction is for, as we know.
Exactly.
The definitive source for all things canon.
Of course.
But anyway, there's also manga I did not realize apparently ran shortly before the anime. That was a thing. I have to look at that. A couple manga, actually. Wow, it actually goes back to 2016.
Oh, dang.
It's been a while.
Well before the game came out.
Yep. Season 2, is significantly different for multiple reasons. Number one, focuses on two different characters entirely. Well, instead of Special Week and Silent Suzuka, it's supposed to focus on Tokai Teo and Major McQueen, who were side characters the first one. And then Special Week and Silent Suzuka were put in the background so hard that Silent Suzuka is even in a different country.
Yep. They mentioned at the end of season 1 that her goal is to race in America, but then she gets injured, but then she gets better, and that ends up going anyway.
So season 2 is Tokai Teo and her, I guess, meteoric rise, so to speak, of, just being, initially undefeated, and then, hey, injury. It opens up with her getting injured and not realizing totally she's injured.
Yep.
Because everyone, that's the thing, episode 1 ends with like everyone like kind of noticing her dancing on stage and then, wait a minute.
Trainer and who's the horse girl? There was someone else that was on stage. Was it the president? It was the president.
No, it wasn't on stage, but the president.
Yeah, well, they noticed it
Rudolph.
on stage. She kind of felt her leg funny, but kept going, and then on stage, both of them noticed her step funny at the same time at the very end of the episode.
She broke something. Yeah, she broke her leg.
Yep.
And she did it again and again. That's the whole thing. It was like, she is a fantastic racehorse, but she keeps, hurting herself in the process and putting herself out of commission. It's like, to the point after the third fracture, the doctor's like, this might become a recurring thing if you keep racing. You might have to stop.
Yep.
And her despair. And Misery McQueen being her big rival and everything, and then she gets injured briefly. They don't even really show it on screen at first. She got injured, and then now she's in a wheelchair for a bit, and then she gets not injured, but she gets a condition later on, which prevents her from being able to race.
Yeah. Where season 1 was about, finding and working and reaching your dream.
Season 2 is largely about failure and dealing with it.
Yeah, it's picking yourself up after your dreams have been crushed.
Shattered,
and dealing with the reality of the situation.
Teo wanted to be the undefeated Triple Crown horse girl.
Yep.
And she failed at the Triple Crown part, because she got injured, missed the race.
Yep. She wasn't defeated. She just missed the race.
But she was still undefeated until she went against Major McQueen in another race and lost.
Finally, I think she lost significantly.
Yeah, she was like in 7th place or something like that.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't used to the distance running like they were doing.
She ran out of steam.
After that, she was really in despair again, because then got injured again and all that stuff, and in despair, and pretty much even handed in her notice of withdrawal.
Yep. And then everyone went, no.
Yeah, got her back. And then McQueen gets injured.
Yep.
Not injured, but develops that condition.
Yep.
Which means, it gets increasing, as she runs, she gets increasing pain, and eventually she does, as you see her just collapse in the mud, not even able to walk.
Yep. Oh, God, that scene.
Yeah, God, I forgot about that one.
That scene.
I remembered, but I forgot how hard it hits.
It hits hard, but then, it ends kind of, McQueen's there in the mud, Teo's talking to her, and Teo just turns around and walks away, leaving her in the mud. It's like,
yeah, it's kind of
weird. It makes sense in context, but, like, wow.
Yeah.
Especially with, the scene just before that with them on their date.
Yeah, and then that bit. Yeah, so that's one big thing in that season 2 is actually surprisingly deep for a anime based on a gacha franchise.
It does. There's a lot more depth and meat, I think, in season 2. It deals with some harder things.
Mm-hmm. Weirdly, yeah, actually, it's not very light. It's not as lighthearted as you'd think it would be.
Yeah.
You think this would be a very lighthearted thing, and it is not. It goes pretty dark at times.
Also dealing with a secondary character a couple episodes.
Oh, Rice Shower.
Rice Shower.
Man, I love Rice Shower. I forgot about that.
After Rice Shower thing.
Yeah, because Rice Shower she's a very, quiet, meek girl, and she just, her name is kind of a symbolic of, joy and whatnot, right? She's like, it's the first time she won, everyone was cheering for her, and she was really happy and everything. And then, she wins against not McQueen. It was the other one. She took out someone's chance. Bourbon.
Yeah, she defeated Bourbon, and that was
they stopped her from getting the Triple Crown, and everyone's like, "What the heck?"
And everyone was upset.
Everyone's just mad, and she's like, "Okay," and just kind of slinks away and she decides to stop racing for a while because she doesn't want people mad at her. Everyone hates her, right?
Yeah, she won the race, and now suddenly everyone hates her.
But then she gets a renewed vigor after particularly after talking to Bourbon.
Well, I wouldn't say she talked to Bourbon. Everyone and Bourbon talked to her.
Yeah, too.
Chased her
after
down.
All that stuff, she gets renewed vigor and then starts training like hardcore. I remember the whole thing. McQueen's return. She's going to be the returning champion. Can she defend her title and do something special that no one's ever done? And then there's Rice Shower in the pits leading up to it, and McQueen's just freaking out because Rice Shower's got this aura about her.
Yeah, and they visualize
an animal.
Yeah.
And getting to the starting gate, like McQueen's hesitating.
Yeah,
everyone's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, she does that thing that some horses actually do at the gate,
Yeah.
where they'll just kind of panic and pull away and won't enter the gate. And they actually had to have an assistant come out and hands on her shoulders and push her into the gate gently, which sometimes they have to do.
Mm-hmm. Which, yeah, just so because she's freaked out right now. It's like, why am I shaking? Why am I? Then everyone's like, thought she was going to be focusing on Palmer, and she wasn't. She was focusing all on Rice Shower, and everyone's like, what's going on?
Yep.
And
Got her
Rice Shower
spooked.
was scary.
It's scary. Yeah, I think they did the whole anime thing with the blue flame on her eye too. Yep.
Yeah, that's because usually one of her eyes is covered up and everything by her hair, and
Yeah, she's got the hair and the blue rose thing.
mm-hmm. And she beats McQueen.
And everyone's pissed. But then McQueen and the others start clapping for her.
Yeah,
No one
although
else
it's still
does,
kind of a
but
weird, quiet, awkward clap.
It was. But
like,
at least she did something.
Because everyone kept calling her what was it, the assassin, the heel.
Yeah, and she called herself, looks like I'm the heel.
Yeah, and then I'm not. And then at that point, when she's starting to pass McQueen, she says, "I'm the hero."
Yep.
And blows past her like, "What?"
Yep.
Sets a record and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. I really like those episodes, and it's like, oh yeah, I forgot. I liked Rice Shower a lot when I watched
Rice
it.
Shower was really good.
And I also liked in the OP, they changed the OP because they have that montage of the girls, and she always looks meek and said that one time, nope, not that time.
Yeah.
That episode, oh god, she's scary. Yeah, I just like that stuff. And then you got the BNW, which they were a big thing at the very end of season 2, and Kuing Biwa, who apparently she has a weird complex about her head. Okay. And Teo's triumphant return. Like, I'm going to win. You haven't raced in a year. What do you mean you're going to win?
And she did.
Yeah.
She did.
Yeah, that moment was also pretty hard. It went hard because, like, everyone's losing it. You're like, oh my god, she's going to do it.
Yep.
Do the impossible. And that's the whole thing. That's that weird thing of them that kind of Teo talking about how fate is kind of cruel, not letting them race against each other. And
oh yeah, because they always one of them gets injured, and by the time they come back and start racing, the other one's out, and just back and forth and back and forth. And it's just.
And yeah, the other thing about this is, season 1 kind of maybe occasionally winks at you about Special Week in Silent Suzuka. I feel like Teo and McQueen are kind of like. They're a little more blatant.
It's a bit more blatant, especially there's with one episode with the date.
The date and everything. I know Teo wants to thank everyone, and when she gets to McQueen, she just can't bring herself to do it because it's embarrassing.
Yep.
Somehow. For some reason, it's different somehow.
And then they all poke fun at her about, like, well, maybe I have feelings. It's like...
Yeah, the way they frame it, everything about this screams, this is supposed to be romantic, so it's really weird.
And the ending scene of their date when they're sitting on the bench together and they lean close. And
there's also even the thing is like, you're acting like you're confessing your love or something.
Yep, yeah, they do that. Yeah, but I mean, still that ending scene on the
everything
bench.
about that just screams. This was supposed to, like, even the rival thing. The way they present it almost screams like this is supposed to kind of be a stand-in for romance. Because we can't actually do that for some reason or another. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
societal standards, some nonsense like that. I don't know. But it's just kind of, yeah, that's kind of blatant.
Yep. One thing that's kind of matched that I see a lot happening in season 1 and season 2, which is a little. Probably shouldn't do this in real life, how much they tend to pin their hopes and dreams on each other and other people, and then end up getting disappointed when something fails. It's like, that's sort of what happens. You should be careful about pinning your dreams on other things. Don't hold them to such a high standard that when, the fact that they're not perfect comes out, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah.
But it is something that they kind of do. They also kind of do it in a different way. The whole rival thing is better because, it's good to have a rival and not, some hero you look up to.
Yeah, it's also, the rival thing sometimes gets so odd.
It can be, but like...
I mean, sometimes the way that gets presented, like there's Palmer and What's-Her-Face were rivals, and they also acting like super cool best friends or what. It's like... Oh. Yeah, the way that the rival thing is very much screams like, it's like a lot of anime or whatnot, where it's just like rival pretty much just means friend or lover, depending on the context, essentially.
Yeah.
But there's that whole thing, and One other thing I found interesting, I did not catch this the first time I watched through it because my watch through season 1 and 2 were not surprisingly, very separated, considering how far apart they came out. Because season 1 was 2018, season 2 is 2021. Season 1's final episode was kind of an extra episode and had no real bearing on the plot. Really, it was just an extra essentially.
It's the big race.
But it's clear to me that it takes place after season 2 because there's a couple lines or special weeks narrating, and she basically pretty much sums up season 2 in like a couple sentences about Teo and McQueen both getting injured and whatnot.
Interesting.
Like, and then Suzuka coming back from the America and participating in this race and everything. Like, this takes place post season 2.
Yeah.
The other thing about
realize that.
Yeah, the other thing about this academy is like they say high school, but considering how much time passes, this isn't just high school.
Yeah, because that would only be like 3 years.
Yeah. And the fact that there's so much time passes and stuff, including like, we have those little horse girls in season 2.
Well, even with the main characters, Teo and the president.
Yeah.
Because Teo looked up the president as a kid because the president was
the president's still there as the president.
Yeah. It's just like, how long have you been here? I was thinking the same. I was like, how long have they been in this school? Because there was a significant amount of time passing for those kids to grow up.
Yeah. It's a whole, that's like I said, it's pretty clear it's not just a high school. I'm pretty sure it's also a middle school, which means it's a 6-year school, which would make things make more sense, but it's still kind of iffy sometimes about the time frames.
Yeah.
But that's another problem. I don't think about it that hard. But I am though.
But we have to. Overanalyzing is part of the job.
And again, there's a ton of side characters and stuff who are more prominent in the game because you kind of pick your favorites and whatnot.
Yeah, there's some other interesting little things. Bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Bourbon's relationship with her trainer.
Yeah,
it's a bit odd.
Master told me to do, I'll do it.
Yeah, when that's it's like that's a bit worrying.
In the game, apparently the whole thing about Bourbon is like, they call her a cyborg sometimes because the way she acts, and there's
also
she actually is a robot.
Her visuals are very kind of cybernetic. She's got like little accessories that are like,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like a bit odd. And then the trainer is this very stoic, almost looking. But apparently he's not a bad person.
No.
They do show that later, but initially it's like that's a bit of an odd relationship between the two.
Mm-hmm.
There's some other little bits that I found funny.
The other thing was what?
Yeah, there's some other like little bits in the background that I found funny too. Or what did you have first though?
Yeah, but the other thing was season 2 also introduced Team Canopus, who like Nice Nature and Twin Turbo, Ikuno Dictus, and Machikan Tannhauser. Yeah, those 4, and it's like
Twin Turbo.
Turbo was a weirdo.
Twin Turbo,
or like, of course the good old
Double Dash or whatever name that Teo's gonna come up with.
Yeah, Twin Turbo, who thinks she's bigger than she is.
One thing, Twin Turbo aesthetically stands out.
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw this, like, is this someone's OC? Bright blue hair, heterochromia, total gremlin, sharp teeth. This seems like someone's OC. Because it is so different than almost every other character. Yeah. There's another one that has blue streaks in her hair. But otherwise, Twin Turbo just completely stands out. But yeah, she's a total gremlin. She's like the Chihuahua who keeps picking a fight with big dogs.
Yep. Although she's very fast, she's kind of had a hard time with the whole endurance thing.
Yeah.
The thing about Nice Nature, I just look at her, that's just Maki from Love Life. I mean, looking at her hairstyle's almost identical, just poofier. But it's like, I just find it funny that like she looks so similar.
Yeah.
And she voices Shizuku Osaka in Love Life. It's the same VA. I'm gonna love it one of these days.
Oh, that was another running joke that started in season 2. It began in season 1 and continued in season 2. when doing practice runs on the tracks, they would always have a Hishi Amazon holding the
And then very
thing, and then season 2 it's a cardboard cutout
Yeah.
of her instead. That was hilarious.
I'm looking at Special Weeks VA Azumiwaki. She's also been in My Next Life as a Villainess as Anne the maid. Nope, Tokyo Revengers.
Oh, yeah.
Farewell to my dear Kramer. Girls Frontline.
Oh boy. I also I found it kind of funny that Silent Suzuka in season 2 always just being video called in.
Yep.
Until the end, but she did show up.
On Special Week's phone, of course.
Yep. Special Week. Even in the OP would always just be there on Special Week's phone. Video
Until the very end.
Until the very, very end when she showed up.
Sanzuka Marika Kono. Let's see.
There's also the barber.
Oh, yep. The barber. That was... kept messing up the hair. And then eventually, by the end, they're like taking the razor to each other's hair. Yeah.
Well, because we started out kept messing because the race gets, get focused on the race and mess up the hair. And then
helmet.
But the client keeps coming back but starts wearing a helmet.
Yep. And then, no, I trust you again. I should not have done that.
Yeah. So those two are definitely a couple.
Yeah, but okay. San Suzuka's VA was also apparently in Flip Flappers.
Oh.
As Nunu.
We should do a thing on Flip Flappers sometime.
What else? Oh, Azur Lane.
I think the other running joke that was hilarious.
Onamai, I'm now your sister.
Oh hey, that anime that's happening.
Yep. Scarlet Nexus.
That's gonna be I'm cautiously optimistic about that anime. There's ways that they could potentially take it that would not be great. But yeah, there's another running joke in season 2. I'm the doctor. But why do you have a needle? Because I'm the doctor. That doesn't answer the question.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
Machiko
Queen's family doctor.
Machiko, the voice of Teo, is primarily a singer.
Oh.
But she was part of the Idol Master and also did the theme songs for Konosuba. Magia Record. Just kind of looking at the main characters.
I did like Teo. Teo was a great character.
I remember when I first started watching CG, I was really upset because Special Week, though. But Special Week. I wanted, that sort of thing. Go back to her.
But Teo's good.
Yeah, she is.
Teo's really good.
Okay. Voice of McQueen. Oh wow, that's a fairly significant. Let's see. Minor part in certain scientific railgun. Very minor part. Orimo. Oh no.
Oh no.
Minor part in that.
She voices Shikimori.
Yeah.
Precure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some stuff in here. Doll's Frontline.
Yep. Comic Girls.
Oh hey, Selection Project. One of the characters from that.
Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? Restaurant to Another World. Oh, Girls Frontline. Yeah, Magruzi.
Monster Musume.
Monster Musume,
no. Oh, yeah.
Gold Ship's voice actress does not have a Wikipedia article. I was hoping to see that.
Do they have...
Hitomi Ueda.
Hitome. Let's see. Not a huge amount.
Yeah,
actually.
It's just Gold Ship became the meme horse that everyone loves.
Yeah,
because real Gold Ship apparently is a bit weird. Like there was a bit in the anime they replicated where she actually kind of put her leg up on the wall, kind of yelling at the other horse girl, and that was a thing that actually happened. Where Gold Ship tried to basically crawl over the thing at the starting gate to get to the other horse because Gold Ship was weird. Yeah, she's the meme one that everyone likes, and in the game, she'll she'll run up to you all happy and then drop kick you. It's like, all right.
Yeah, it reminds me. Apparently, there's the other one from season 1, Haru Urara, the pink-haired one that apparently is based on a real horse that always loses, but everyone loves.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember her. Yeah, she makes a brief appearance in season 2 too, but yeah, it doesn't really say anything.
Yeah.
All right. So regardless, there's also the spin-off Umiyon. We didn't talk about that, but that's just, very short comedy stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple spin-offs and shorts and things
there's
like
a new
that
spin-off
too.
coming out actually this month. Umayuru.
Okay.
Yep, coming out on October 16th apparently. So that's apparently on the internet. It's an original net animation, which means it's low budget. Yeah, there's another thing which I want to mention, which is PA Works did season 1. And then Studio Kai did season 2, and that might explain some stuff because Studio Kai is fairly new, and also I noticed season 2's animation was sometimes a bit weaker. There's definitely a couple times where they tried to do some more ambitious stuff with like CG, but it did not look so hot. Like particularly, like to do the kind of panning shots when they're running around. They try to use CG to make it easier and wind up sticking out in a bad way. Versus season 1, they didn't really try to do that, but generally the animation looked better. Yeah, because I'm looking at PA Works. They have quite a few more to their credit, like Angel Beats and yeah, that's one. Sakura Quest. I remember they recognize that one, and Opara Ranman. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, so they have more. So it's one of those things. That's just like they gave it to another studio for season 2, and largely it's fine, but there's a couple bits where it's not as nice looking. Also, the music was interesting too because you had the the heel music, so to speak. The like, they even had that with Rice Showers. Like, oh hey, yeah, the bad guy's about to win. Because that was interesting. The whole thing about that was just basically, hey, look, we're going to see things from the quote unquote bad guy's perspective. She just wants to be loved.
Just wants to be loved.
That's so.
It's interesting when you're in the situation of Rice Heel. It's like you can either, suffer through that and deal with it because that's gonna suck, or you can try and like own it.
Yep.
That's another option, but it's not what she got in for, so it's not what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, it's a good. I like that McQueen, applauded her. I would have liked to see a little bit more because it's in one of those situations where if the person everyone wanted to win happily cheers on the person who did win instead, it kind of forces the audience to somewhat accept.
Yeah.
It's like now you have to kind of accept the person you didn't want to win won because the person you did accepted it. So that's just one of the things. If you're ever in that position, cheer on the people who beat you when they try hard, and because it'll help them too.
Yep.
Sportsmanship.
Sportsmanship. Yeah. We didn't really get too much in the personalities of the characters, I noticed. Too much, but there was a lot to weird stuff around it all, but not it's weird stuff that's not the plot, but also important.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a Special Week's very naive and clumsy, weirdly enough.
A bit, yes, clumsy. She really likes carrots.
Yeah, really likes carrots.
Really
thinks everyone else likes carrots the way she does, not necessarily. Oh, they did the whole, look, the typical anime girl, I'm late run, but with a carrot instead of
carrots. Yep. But yeah, she's very optimistic and naive and kind of bubbly.
Suzuka is very quiet, but she's not like the shy quiet, and she's also not like the reserved quiet either. It's weird. She's like she shows emotions, but she just she isn't very loud about them. She's like I guess Ina from All Alive.
Yeah,
very quiet, but
she's
not
quiet.
She's quiet, just not emotionless though.
Yep.
Teo's very loud and bouncy and excitable, and also prone to if everything's bad, let's just cover that up with just happiness and smiles and don't talk about the bad stuff.
Oh yeah, that's one critical thing on Teo, and it's kind of hard to pin exactly where it is. Sometimes it's an honest attempt at optimism, like no I can do this, and actually believing
other times
it's going to be better, and sometimes it's a lying to yourself just to try and make things better for everyone else, and it's hard to find that line between the two.
If I keep pretending, eventually it'll be real, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And with Teos, it's kind of hard to tell which direction she's leaning, because sometimes she seems like she might be leaning in the dark part of it.
Yeah. McQueen is very prim and proper. She's from a very seemingly wealthy family, and has a butler and everything. So that's like she's very prim and proper, and although she is prone to bouts of anger or excitability when she's pushed. Goldship is
Goldship.
Yeah, you just don't know.
Yep. Goldship just does whatever Goldship
She does
wants.
things, and things happen to her, and it's just she's a weird horse. Volca and Daiwa just, of course, yell at each other a lot.
Yep.
We see also everyone else. They're pretty much kind and cool and everything. Friends with everyone else. But yeah, when it comes to each other, they yell at each other. And then, of course, hanging out. I just remember seeing a comic. I thought those. Oh no, they didn't make up. Oh yes, they did, because you see them. They're still arguing with each other, but you look behind, their tails are intertwined. It's like, oh,
yeah, yep.
They made up all right.
Yep.
Beyond that, Grass Wonder was like an early rival for Special Week, and she's apparently the whole thing. And then she's like, a lot of people like to treat her as Yandere for Special Week because of that. El Condor Pasta is also kind of, she's basically supposed to be the excitable American.
Yeah, she's supposed to be American.
Yeah, she's an American horse.
Yeah, but yeah, she's got the outfit, and she always wears the eye masks.
Yep.
Oh, that's another thing I was realizing. Those outfits are not helping their speeds.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. I mean, we're already at the weird thing of like their horse. That's one thing. It's like some people have done that thing of like they're horse girls, right? So shouldn't they be the size of a horse?
They're big.
Horses. How big would a horse be if it stood upright on its hind legs? Pretty tall. They should be like 10, 11 feet tall.
Yep. How do you think they run so fast? Long legs.
I've seen people draw it like that. It's like, oh
no,
because they're not cowards.
Else.
Because they're not cowards.
Giantess. Some people are into that.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some of the other personalities.
Or the good old, just, the horses acting like actual horses, including the just fear of absolutely nothing.
Oh, yeah. Just getting spooked.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Putting horseshoes on the bottom of their actual shoes.
It's just funny. It makes no sense, but
it makes no sense.
It makes no sense, but it's kind of endearing in a weird way.
Yeah.
Especially when that was the one thing McQueen was training with the heavy ones.
Oh, God.
Jumping over
a gold
ship, and then gets distracted by
right into her back. Yep.
I mean, there was apparently a lot of people really upset when the whole McQueen Gold Ship Teo thing.
Oh.
Because, McQueen and Gold Ship had their thing going on in season 1, and then, nope, it's McQueen and Teo in season 2. And, of course, people mad because my OTP, though.
My OTP. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really, beyond that, there's a lot of the other characters. There's the, again, the Canopus. Nice Nature is kind of basically lives up to her name, more or less. Ikuno Dictus is the glasses, so of course she's super smart and goes into very long technical things, where everyone else just kind of, okay, let her talk, we're just going to have a conversation over here and let her finish.
Yeah.
And Tannhauser, I'm just going to shorten that.
Yeah.
She seems to comes across as a little bit naive too.
Yeah, she doesn't get a huge amount of screen time to really develop, though.
Except for the times where she gets hit in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, currently she's unlucky and often has nosebleeds. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone else, I guess we talked about a little bit enough. I think we can say we did it.
Let's check it off the list. There's a lot of characters.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters, a lot of which are named but don't do anything, or named and maybe have a line or two.
Like
or
the fortune teller.
Yep. They don't do a whole lot. Like Palmer and the other girl she was constantly hanging out with, very much came across kind of Valley Girl-esque.
Yeah.
Including the other girl, she had blue hair and everything, also starts using slang. And it's like, Palmer's like, what are you even saying? I don't know. I speak many languages. This is not one of them. But yeah, that whole thing. We can go here all day just talking about all the characters if we really want to, but I don't want to.
It's a gacha game. It's based on a gacha game.
There's a ton of horses.
First.
And also, turns out there's a lot of race horses.
Yes. Race horses have been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Race horsing.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for this one. A little disjointed, but
yeah,
it's a very good anime, by the way.
It is really good. We never actually said whether we liked it or not.
It's great. I love it.
It's great. It is good.
I really like it, to the point I'm considering buying the Figma Gold Ship that just wasn't put up for pre-order this week.
Yeah, I'm
thinking about it.
I don't think I will. I mean, at the moment, I'm not really thinking about buying any figurines of them. But if I were, it would possibly be a Teo.
They have a Teo figure art.
Yeah, not too
And I think the
surprising.
pop-up parades or whatever, they have one of those for Teo. So
Yeah, if I
Same.
were to, it would probably be a pop-up parade.
I'm not sure it was a pop-up parade, but it's one of those.
If they do
type of
make
things.
a pop-up parade, that would be more
It's one of
likely
those
for
type of
me to
things. I'm not
think
sure it
of.
was a pop-up parade, but it's definitely one of those type of things.
Yeah, it's just a static figure.
Like maybe it was a Fig Arts Zero, because that's what they call those.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, there's a bunch of Fig Arts ones. Like the Special Week, Suzuka, McQueen, and Teo all have Fig Arts, but Teo also has a Figma, and Gold Chip has a Figma coming.
Yeah.
I think McQueen also has a Figma. Yeah. I think I remember. Yeah, I just remember. I could have sworn I saw on the advertising, whatever. So yeah, if you want Horse Girl stuff, there's also, of course, Nendo's. There's plenty of that.
Well, yeah, there's Nendo's.
I think they just also put up for pre-order the Twin Turbo Nendo.
Get your gremlin.
And often they get like special stands rather than just the usual clear stands. They have like ones that look like they're grass and whatnot.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, gotta have them in the grass running.
Yep.
Do they ever eat grass?
I was thinking that earlier, acting like horses, but I don't think they ever grazed.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, they could eat carrots and the honey and and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of rice.
Yeah, it's just because they're in Japan.
Yeah, or donuts in that one case.
Yeah.
Which apparently is actually based on a real eating competition for horses.
Yeah. Oh, that was another thing that they did a lot with Special Week. She would always eat a lot, and her stomach would show through her
Yeah, the
outfit.
stomach thing.
Yeah.
Some people are into that, you know.
Some people are into that.
Anyway, yeah. So that's. I think that's it.
I think
it's
that's
a great
it. We'll
anime.
wrap
Watch
up.
it. If you want to check out the game, you can do that too. But don't think I've ever in my life for that many gacha games. Thank you very much.
Yeah, gotta be careful with gacha games.
Thankfully, I
Yeah,
still
be
haven't spent any money on any gacha games.
I mean, unless you have the money, but careful.
Yeah, be careful. Don't become
I
a
think-
whale. Or I guess I've heard apparently there's a tier above whale, Leviathan,
Oh God.
which apparently Ina, again, a pirate, is a Leviathan in a particular game. And that's why she apparently won't play it on stream, is because she'd have to start over with a fresh character. She ain't gonna do that after how much she spent.
Yep. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's it for this one. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, you can check out other episodes on new to weeaboo.libsyn.com. It's spelled LABSYN. The RSS feed there is also other destinations, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Podcasts. All those, but the last are available to link or are linked on the Libsyn site as well. So you could just search for New to Weeaboo and find us, and yeah, you'll find it. That's the thing. And if you want to contact us, you could do so via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com, if you have any questions or anime recommendations or whatever, or I don't know, that sort of thing. Just saying hi, I guess. I don't know why you'd make an email say hi, but you can. Might not get a response though.
Might respond
I don't
if
know.
we
It
see
depends.
it.
But
Not
there's also
busy.
our Twitter. We're at New to Weeaboo if you want to follow us there and like and retweet and all that stuff if you like to yeah, just because it's also when new episodes will pop up as they come out. And there's also personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1 and he's at Alcatraz with a 77T and an underscore at the end, and you can follow those as well. And that's it. Tune in next time. We're gonna get properly, I guess, somewhat into the Halloween spirit with Elfin Lead.
Oh boy. That's an
That's
infamous one, isn't it?
bit. Yep. So we'll be talking about that one, and we'll see how that goes.
It will go one way or another.
So we'll see you then. Goodbye.